Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Another beautiful day in Minnesota. So today I'm going to be working on installing a lift kit for this Outback and also new struts and springs. So I'm really excited. Please make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that more people can see this video. And subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing. So let's get into the video here and comment below with any questions or comments. Thank you. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna jack this up. I have two jacks in the garage I'm gonna bring out and jack this up. And then we're gonna replace all four shocks and struts, and so let's get to it. Alright, so before I jack it up, I just wanted to take a moment to show you guys what it looks like before the lift and the new struts and springs and stuff. So you can see kind of a close-up there of the wheel well. There's only a couple inches here at best, and that could be due to old springs, struts and springs too. And then we got, you know, like somewhere around 8 inches of ground clearance here. It's not the greatest, but it's not terrible. Much better than some regular cars. And the front here, we got just a little bit of clearance, and it'll be interesting to see when we pull the struts and springs out what they look like and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna jack this up and then we'll get to it. Alright, so I'm gonna put some jack stands underneath the front here, but just note that when jacking it up, so I put this jack just a little bit back so that I have enough room to put a jack stand at the front here of this bar. So this is the support beam down here. And then in the back, since I have a hitch, I just jacked it up at the hitch. But note that to be very careful when jacking it up, especially getting all four wheels up above the ground. So once you have the rear up, it's not such a big deal. But then when you're starting to work on the front, what happens is if you get one side too high, then and you don't have the other side up, then it'll tilt the car, and then it's possible that the car will come off those jack stands. So just note that and proceed with caution on that. And that's part of why I have two jacks. I'm using two jacks is so that I can pump it up just a little bit on one side and then go to the other side. So anyway, I'm gonna proceed. I just thought I'd let you know. Alright, so this is what came in my lift kit. I don't know exactly what is what yet, but these are going to be the two front spacers. These are going to be the two rear spacers, strut spacers, and then These are spacers that go on different suspension components. I think mostly in the rear. I'll find out more as I get into it. Here's a bunch of the hardware over there too. So that's kind of what came in it. And I'll get started working on that. Okay, so on each side you're gonna want to mark a spot on the bolt, and then on the strut, or more because we're replacing the strut, you'll want to mark it on the actual hub piece. So then you kind of know generally how this bolt goes in, because that's kind of that's kind of the alignment bolt. The other bolt isn't so much for alignment, so that you don't have to mess with. But so do that on both sides before you get started removing everything. And then I'll be taking out this brake line bolt, take these bolts out, take the sway bar end link bolts out down here, and then we should be able to get started pulling these struts out. Alright guys, so I got everything loose over on the driver's side here, besides the top bolts to the shocks and struts. So I removed this bolt here, which held the brake line on, and then the ABS sensor bolt on this side, I removed that. And then I removed obviously the strut bolts that hold the strut onto this assembly here, and I have it jacked up. And then I also removed the sway bar end link bolt. So then that was able to break free. So all I need to do now is remove the strut and pull it out of there, put the new strut in with the spacer, and we'll proceed from there. On the other side, I'll probably show a video of getting all this stuff loose, just so that you guys have that as reference. Alright, so this is on the left is the old shock and strut, on the right is the new shock and strut. I'm going to install this this spacer here onto that, and then get ready to put it in. Alright, so all you're really going to do here to install this spacer, make sure it says, you know, left front. If you're going to put it on the left side, which is what I'm going to do, the driver's side, and then you just install your nuts, factory nuts that you used for the original strut. Or if you're replacing the struts, mine came with nuts to replace it with. And then ADF provides new nuts for the top here once you have it in. And so you just tighten these down, and that's pretty much it. Then you go to install it. Alright guys, so here I'm on the passenger side. I'm gonna take the brake line bolt loose. It's right here. Make sure it's on loosen. Well, fortunately we're replacing the strut, so I'll just need a new bolt for that. It broke off. Now for the ABS sensor bolt. There we go, that came right out. Let me just break that free. Rust is holding that on. And you can see I have this marked here. So I'll break free these bolts and the sway bar end link bolt. Alright, so once that's free down here, just like this, you can see that's free. You'll just go ahead and remove the top bolts of the strut. There's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so I have the front installed here basically, besides the sway bar. I'll do that towards the end. I'm gonna move on to the rear here, but I wanted to just give you guys a couple of tips and tricks for getting this together and getting it all lined up. So it is a little tricky to get this lined up with these bolt holes. So you'll need to take a sledgehammer or some sort of hammer and hammer this down to be able to get it in line with these bolt holes, and then make sure you have this alignment bolt in the right side so that there's enough hole in the strut to, you know, to be able to for the bolt to fit. Also, if I were to be doing it again, I would, rather than just marking the side, because that can wear off. In fact, it might have for me. I'm not sure if I have it in right or not, but what I would do is there's a number 10 on the end of the bolt, and what I would do is I would either take a picture or take note of in what location that is in the rotation. So if it's upside down or if it's sideways, for example, or which side it's sideways, take a picture of that and then also mark that bolt, but just so that it's a little bit easier to tell, and then when you get the bolt out, you can kind of tell which side of it is, you know, the bulging part, so to speak, and be able to tell by that as well. So that's just a couple tips and tricks on the front here. I had to replace this bolt because it broke off. The bolt head broke off, but I got it all in. And now I'm gonna head to the rear of the vehicle, and again I'm gonna do the sway bar end links later.